Hello everyone, Ryan Baldesterio here with the United Way Emerging Leaders Society Planning Committee for our 2021 case competition. I'm here with Virgo, the leader of Keney Park Sustainability Project based here in Hartford. Herb, can you tell us a little bit about the organization itself, kind of where you started and what it's been like the last few years getting this all off the ground?
Sure. So Keney Park Sustainability Project started in 2016. We started off, before we began this program, we used to run an annual Family Day event in Keney Park for about 15 years. In 2015 into 2016, we started thinking about what could we do to expand the organization, what could we do to support our park, support the community, and just become more sustainable as an organization. And Keney Park Sustainability Project is kind of what came out of that brainstorming process. Spent some time in Milwaukee visiting Growing Power and other organizations that were doing urban agricultural work. We decided to just slowly start to implement those activities here. We started off with one 8x4 raised bed and gave that produce away, and then went from that to 21 raised beds and then greenhouses, and then started to add on the animal husbandry and the other activities. And the program kind of grew on its own. Like, there was no strategic plan for the development of this program. We saw needs in the community and just kind of modified the program to try to address those needs.
Great. So what sort of impacts have you seen from some of those urban agriculture programs and some of the produce development efforts that you have? What have you seen out in the community?
Well, mostly our selling produce to the Hartford Public Schools has kind of been the biggest development in our program since it began. And to see the kids actually come here, learn how to grow produce, and then see that produce end up in their cafeteria, and they're doing different activities and exercises, learning about nutrient density and things like that. I think that has been probably one of the biggest impacts. Another program that we have that has been a huge impact is our home garden kit program. So we realized during COVID that people weren't out, people were at home. So we started thinking of ways that we can actually bring growing gardening to them. So we gave away hydroponic kits, grow beds, grow bags, and in the past 2 years we've given away over 350 of them. So that was another thing that we saw a great deal of impact as a result of.
Okay. Now, outside of the urban agriculture efforts, I know that you're working through developing a healing center. Tell us more about that.
So the Urban Ecology Wellness Center is our newest project. We just completed our pilot season for that. And basically what it is taking urban ecology and wellness and merging them together in the backdrop of Keney Park. So using nature immersion as the common theme to bring those two elements together. So on the urban ecology side, you have biodiversity, and you have our milling operation and our lumber processing site. And on the wellness side, we're doing health pop-ups and health screenings and yoga and meditation and sound healing. And we're just trying to use Keney Park as the outdoor space for all of those activities.
Right. So who are the folks and the community members that are getting the most benefit from some of these services?
I think the local schools, community first schools, Martin Luther King School, Milner School, the schools mostly that are adjacent to the park, and then schools from other towns as well that visit the program and participate in the activities.
Prior to us having this conversation, you mentioned revamping a website to try and get some word out to community members about different community services. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so last season we created a website called the Hartford Food Project, and the goal was to try to put all information related to Hartford food services or support networks into one space. And this website was supposed to do that. Currently, we're converting it. We're going to keep the same name, but we're converting it from Squarespace to WordPress, and we're planning to launch January of 2022. But it has all information about farmers markets, food pantries, grocery stores, community gardens, vacant lots that are being activated into growing spaces. It has as much information that we can put in one space, just so that people have a place to go to find out information about food and how to access it.
Right. So who started working on that effort? How did you decide that was going to be a good platform to use to get the message out?
Well, it started with a group of UConn students, and one of our board members, Julia Yakovich, approached us with the idea. So we figured, it was a great fit for our organization. So we supported them through the development of the website, helping them aggregate the information, and now we're getting ready to kind of tighten it up and then launch it in January.
Now, the Emerging Leaders Society case competition this year is working to tackle not just food insecurity, but reaching out to folks who may be on the fringes of some of the programs that organizations like yours are providing. Why did you find it important for Keney Park Sustainability Project to get involved as a sponsor in this competition?
Because what we've learned throughout the years of doing this work is that there's a portion of the population that is very distrustful of services and different programs throughout the city. So we started thinking about how do we address those folks? How do we get to those people? An example with the Urban Ecology Wellness Center, our pop-ups weren't pre-scheduled or pre-planned. We just showed up where the people were, and we saw that as an important way to get to that population that you described. And I think the case competition is doing that as well. It's figuring out every level of approach to get to the folks who wouldn't normally be reached, and I think it's important to support those efforts.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate the good work that Keney Park Sustainability Project does in our community and for your sponsorship of our efforts here. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you sharing your background.
My pleasure.